So this is the self-development with tactics.
Bock.
So, we're gonna go ahead with the antidote to happiness or something? Or of happiness. Or the antidote, I'm sorry. Which is about happiness quite. And for those people that are just not trying to be humbly bumbly, over optimistic and stuff. And there's gonna be a really, some really cool things that are gonna come up in this episode, I believe. So actually the first thing is a really good one. So stay tuned and stay motherfucking there. And as always, I really am happy to be here and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And yes, there is a sock on my fucking microphone because I've lost my thingy thing. And yes, I'm having just different headphones, or I am actually having headphones. Normally I'm not recording with headphones, but I kind of have a feeling that it might be a cool way because it's a kind of cozy and I'm just kind of in a different space and stuff. But yeah, I am just down there. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Because of reasons. But I'm gonna suck my dick, motherfucker. Suck my dick. I wanna have this one and I'm gonna put it there. It's probably not gonna be just where it normally is. Kind of. It's fine there. And I hope it's also good with the font there. It's actually kinda lit, white on white. But yeah, anyway. I think I'm gonna just go ahead with it. Just as I'm normally doing it. So the first one is no, it's not the one. Doch. Yeah, it is. Doch means, I can't translate it. Well, anyway. We can take action without changing our feeling state. And it is something that they just talked about before as well. And it just means you can do something, you can make something, even though you don't feel like doing it. And it is definitely the fucking case. We can do something. We can make something. We can take action. We can write something. We can write a book, even though we don't feel like writing a book. We can also just work out, even though we don't feel like working out. If you always just wait till you feel like doing something, it's gonna just maybe take some time. It's not gonna be a good thing. It's not gonna be hella lit. It's not gonna be hella lit. No, I don't know what's wrong. What's actually going on and what is wrong? What's going on, man? Yeah. What's wrong, man? Yeah. The Everest climbers had been lured into destruction by their passion for goals. The more they fixated on the endpoint, the more that goal became not just an external target, but a part of their own identity. Negative evidence would be reinterpreted as a reason to invest more effort and resources in the pursuit of the goal. And so things would go even more wrong. I am not sure, but yeah. The Yale study of goals never took place. Is there actually a Yale study of goals? I don't know. Could actually have to sit. My back is kind of hurting today. It might be because of the deadlifts I've done yesterday, which is a considerably bad idea since I just normally have just lower back problems. But yes, I'm still doing them. I actually don't know why. I kind of believe that it is just first of all, it's a very compound movement and it's good for a lot of body parts. Second of all, I just believe that I also just somehow need some lower back training, even though I just have a very under tension staying or being lower back in general. But I still think like, well, yeah. Never mind. Faced with the anxiety of not knowing what the future holds, we invest ever more fiercely in our preferred vision of the future. Not because it will help us achieve it, but because it helps get rid of feelings of uncertainty in the present. Yes, kinda. Yes, that's definitely the case. We're often doing this, but I wouldn't necessarily say, even though it kind of sounds a little bit negative, that it is something negative. Because I don't know, if you just invest in your health because you're really just fearing that you're going to be fucked in the future and stuff, then it is a good thing. Of course, it might also turn out into a bad thing, and it might also be a bad thing if you feel that in the future the economy is going to break down and you start just saving all your money and you're not buying anything, like really not anything, and you're living like on the lowest amount of money you can just have and die because of that or some shit. Yes, it's a really real story. Then it might not be such a good thing. It might not be the best thing maybe. But yeah. Consider any significant decision you have ever taken that you subsequently came to regret. Felt the gut-nodding ache of uncertainty afterwards having made a decision. Did those feelings subside? If so, this points to the troubling possibilities that your primary motivation in taking the decision wasn't any rational consideration of its rightness for you, but simply the urgent need to get rid of your feelings of uncertainty. Yeah, I by the way don't really like making decisions. It just really heavily depends on the decision, but but I just normally kind of don't like that and don't really enjoy that. I don't know why, but it's kind of the case. Like a frog, you should sun yourself on a lily pad until you get bored. Then when the time is right, you should jump to a new lily pad and hang out there for a while. Continue this over and over, moving in whatever direction feels right. And I think this is definitely, without any doubt, this is about having a job that, or having actually multiple jobs and or doing multiple things. Like, this is why I've been talking about, no, I've been talking about it in the other episode. I've been starting to just do some music because I was interested in it. I also think about just doing some programming stuff because I also like the thought of it, because I like solving some problems, like these problems. I still haven't figured out yet exactly what problems I like to solve, because of course there are also design problems. But this for me is not such a huge and nice thing, maybe. Like, I don't know why, but I just don't like just solving design problems. But if it is like just some mathematical problems, if it is just something like that, then I really feel stoked about them, unless I just really, really, really heavily don't know what to do. Like, if I have a little bit of a clue and I just have some space for trying out things and figure things out through trying out things, then I really love that. I really, really like that. But if I'm just really not knowing what to do and how to start even, it's a little bit of a fucked up thing, you know? A fucked up thing. The Matrix is essentially a 20th century meditation discards 17th century insights. I don't understand this reference, but yeah. There is no center in the brain where things do all come together. There isn't? Actually, not too sure about that, but I'm gonna take it. We imagine that we are the chattering stream of thinking. Ask yourself if you have any problem right now. The answer, unless you're currently in physical pain, is very likely to be no. Most problems involve thoughts about how something might turn out badly in the future, and this is definitely the case, or thoughts about things that happened in the past. Helping other people is a far more reliable strategy for happiness than focusing solely on yourself. For every outside, there's an inside, and that for every inside. There is an outside, and although they are different, they go together. The self is best thought of some kind of fiction, albeit an extremely useful one. A staggering proportion of human activity is motivated by the desire to feel safe and secure, and yes, there's also a lot of products that are just trying to do that. Let's talk about SUVs. SUVs are pretty huge and they seem to be safe and secure and whatnot, and this is why people are buying them. As dumb and as funny as it might sound, but this is the real reason behind that. Even though, like, often it turns out to just not be that safe, to be honest. You know, just some... Is it a study? I'm not quite sure, but some things showed that they are not too safe, you know, especially when it comes to rolling them over when you're just in a very just tough and sneaky whatever turn and stuff. Like, you could turn out not that good. You could just be on your roof, you know, on your roof. Then everything is not that well. Try ask yourself if you have any problem right now. Oh yeah, I've already gone through that. No. Where did I stop? Fuck, man. Where have I stopped? Fuck. Huh? Am I just... Helping other people is far more reliable strategy for happiness than focusing solely on yourself. Yes, it really is. And I've also seen that today, as I've been thinking about actually, once again, doing something for the people, just doing, I don't know, like realizing that I'm actually doing the podcast not kind of really for me, but also kind of, and mostly also because I just want to get out some things that I believe are important, and I just want to let more people know about that. Which just creates a completely different way of thinking about things. Because I'm at this point in time going through a book summary or notes article. I don't really know how many people went through it, but I could make a lot of people go through it if I just figured it out how to do that. If I figured it out how to present it, how to go about that people are also going to do that, because there's, especially in this one, there's a lot of things that are incredibly important and incredibly interesting and incredibly just useful as well for everyone's life. It is just an amazing thing, and I think that I could do something with it so that people are really interested in it and people are coming just to that and think about that and just get that. Not in terms of getting it, in terms of understanding it, but in terms of receiving it, having it as a quote-unquote present. And think about it in such a way is completely different than thinking like, oh, I have to record an episode today. Oh, I have to do something today. Oh, I have to do whatever. And it is just different. It is just different. And I would say better, even though I kind of do not necessarily want to say so. But I've actually kind of really lost where I've ended Oh, there it is. In turning towards insecurity, we may come to understand that security itself is a kind of illusion and that we were mistaken all along about what it was we thought we were searching for. Yeah. I mean, if there's something that you really want to have, then when the day comes where you can't get it, where you're buying it, especially when it is about some materialistic stuff, you'll see that, and you probably also have seen that, and you've probably also kind of recognized that in your life, that it's actually not that cool. You know, it is cool and it is a nice thing for the first 2 seconds, and then it is like, I don't give a fuck, you know? But yeah, people have always believed that they are living in times of unique insecurity. Yeah, I don't know. Many of the ways in which we try to feel safe don't ultimately make us happy. I should just get rid of this. I'm sorry. It's probably been really loud. I really am sorry. Many of the ways in which we try to feel safe don't ultimately make us happy. I mean, yeah, buying an SUV is probably not going to make us that happy, even though we kind of think that, we're going to be so happy if I just have my fucking SUV, my fucking Hammer. Is Hammer actually even a thing anymore? Because back in the days, I wouldn't necessarily say that back in the days I've seen just more of them. I probably have seen more of them. And I've also thought about them in a way. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me thinking about them in a different way right now. Could also be the case. Can I please switch between them? Okay, I think it is working. Yeah, it is working. We have what's going on today? People have always believed that they are living in times of I've already did that. We protect ourselves from physical danger by moving to safer neighborhoods, but the effects of such trends on community life have been demonstrated to have a negative effect on collective levels of happiness. We seek the fulfillment of strong romantic relationships and friendships, yet striving too hard to achieve security in such relationships stifles them. Yes. Even though, security is a really good word, and I understand what he's talking about. You know, if everything is safe and if everything is alright, there is no need to just be an extraordinary person for the other person. Quite. You know, if everything is in danger and or is it like, I don't know. I think that if chances are always that the person is gonna leave you and some shit like this, which is not necessarily something good as I'm thinking about it, but let's imagine it. Then there is also a reason why you're just a quote-unquote different person, even though, like, if you're then a person that you really are not, just to make the other person feel like you're a great person and then just fall in love with you and just whatever, mate with you, then I don't know, like, it's just not that good of a long-term thinking thing. Because, I hope I'm gonna cut that out. I am probably not gonna do that. But yeah, I'll see. The more you try to avoid suffering, the more you suffer, because smaller and more insignificant things begin to torture you. Yeah, kind of. Becoming a Buddhist is about becoming homeless. That's a little bit of a plot twisty thing. Like, I don't know. I certainly don't know, and I wouldn't necessarily say so. People living in extremely fragile circumstances seem surprisingly high functioning and non-depressed. I do wonder what he's thinking about when he says fragile circumstances, what he's referring to then. Money. If you don't have it, it's much harder to overinvest emotionally in it. The same goes for prestigious jobs, material possessions, or impressive educational qualifications. If you don't have it, it's much harder to overinvest emotionally in it. It's much harder. But I've also seen now the parallels between thinking about money and thinking about education. Like, okay, I really want to have this degree. I'm going to be such a cool person. And then it is really not about the degree in the end, but it's about the process, which might be the same thing for money as well. But yeah, what's going on with my hair there? Can you please? Thank you. A little tiny bit better, I'd say. To seek security is to try to remove yourself from change and thus from the thing that defines life. Yeah. This is why I should also change up some things, and I've also changed them up, and it's a good thing. We need change. We need to change up things. It's an important thingy thing, I'd say. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to end the episode there after the question of today. And the question of today is, do you have enough change in your life? Do you have enough sparkles? Let's call it like this. Maybe it doesn't make any sense. I don't really know. But maybe you have enough. Do you have enough sparkles in your life? Do you have enough exciting things in your life? Is it something you're having, or if there's or is there something that you have to change up to achieve that, to get that, to whatever? This is the question of the day. And yeah, with that being said, I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, basically means just being remembered as a good person, which I think is definitely something that we all want to have. But yeah, 3 questions that I'm having for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you the purpose and maybe even a business idea. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to hopefully see you the next time. Bye, and thank you so much for the time, attention, and everything else. But yeah, I'm going to see you. Bye, and thank you. Really, really, really thank you.